Hello again to another Agakala React, and today we will be watching why Polish Britons are leaving the UK, a post-Brexit exodus from economy talk. And obviously, I'm kind of interested because I am thinking about moving to Poland in a few years as well, and I know that a lot of Polish people moved back to Poland, so let's just watch and what's the reasons. I'm guessing the Brexit was one of the main reasons. Was kind of like a important thing to just be able to easily travel to other country, work there and stuff like that without too much of a hassle and things like that. But we'll see.
It's time to move back. Britain isn't home anymore. After seeing a massive influx of Polish migrants in the years following the 2004 enlargement of the EU, Polish Britons are ready to pack up and leave. Why? In a word, Brexit, although we have to be fair and acknowledge that several factors were in play. Social, economic, and political reasons that contributed towards migration. But in this case, migration back to Poland. Along the way, several Britishers are also looking to make the move to Poland too. Was all of this because of restrictions following the 2020 British withdrawal, or was it something else, something worse? According to a December 2023 dataset, there are approximately 900,000 Polish people living in the United Kingdom. These numbers include people born in Great Britain of Polish descent or people born in Poland who've since relocated there. In any case, their numbers make up a sizable portion of the overall population of the UK. Polish nationals are the largest non-British group living in the UK. The numbers are in front of us. British Poles, Polish Britons, or Polish British people make up a good population of the overall number of people residing in the United Kingdom. However, there's been a shift in recent times. While there might have been a time, particularly when the free movement was in place, when Polish people flocked to the UK in large numbers, searching for better economic opportunities, that's now becoming a part of history. Speaking of economic opportunities, actually some Polish Britons now believe that there are better job opportunities to seek out in Poland. People are moving back, the same people who moved to the United Kingdom with big hopes and dreams. The question is, why? What happened in the UK that's caused...
It's kind of easy. A lot of those people went there when they were young. They got the jobs, they started saving. A lot of those people went there just for the time being. They didn't plan to be there permanently, so they saved, they bought the houses, and they can go back. And there's a lot of opportunities for people that they have education in Poland as well now, so,
It's a shift in their perspective. To better understand what happened, we have to rewind and go back to 2004, when the European Union saw its largest enlargement yet. That was when the A10 nations pledged to join the coalition. Most of the members of the A10 were part of the former Eastern Bloc. Their entry into the EU marked a momentous occasion for Europe. But not everyone in the EU15 was as welcoming as the A10 had hoped. Well, maybe not every member of the A10, but certainly the ones which were economically disadvantaged than the EU15. For example, when it came to granting the A10 complete EU rights, including free movement, Cyprus was one of the only countries that was allowed free movement access right off the bat. Other countries, including Poland, were placed in a special status. Since we're talking about the United Kingdom, the UK announced that while Polish immigrants could move and work in the country as permitted by the EU constitution, they would not be eligible for benefits. Free movement was a contested issue, with several politicians in the EU15 nations claiming that the influx of migrants would be catastrophic. That's where the image of the Polish plumber first emerged. It was a term presented in Charlie Hebdo, but was later popularized in French politics when the issue of immigration as a result of the EU largest enlargement came up. One French politician, Philippe de Villiers, claimed that the influx of migrants would cause 1 million French workers to be out of a job. He claimed it would be because of Polish plumbers or Estonian architects. In any case, net immigration did go up across EU member states, however, only by 2%. While there were some people who raised Eurosceptic notions attached to that 2%, many agreed that Eastern migration workers had contributed positively toward the economy. If anything, the Polish plumber campaign was also widely popular in Poland, where Polish tourism companies advertised attractive plumbers on their posters, stating that people from other countries all over the world should visit the home of the Polish plumber. Additionally, because of the backlash surrounding the free movement, the A10 also wanted some reassurances of their own. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how Article 50, better known as the amendment to the EU Charter that allowed for a nation's withdrawal from the coalition, came into effect. What's most interesting about the amendment is that while the A10 pushed for the article, an EU 15 nation was the one and the only one to ever use it. In 2020, that's 4 years after Britain announced its decision to go forward with its withdrawal from the EU. Brexit was officially in place. For the rest of the world, Brexit happened in January 2020, but for EU member citizens, it happened in late 2020 or early 2021. That's because of the transitional period granted by the Brexit divorce agreement, which allowed member nations 1 more year to make use of the free movement scheme.
Yeah, so basically that's what it is as well. There is a lot of opportunities in Poland now. Unfortunately, I can't really use them because I have no education for it. So, yeah. We are thinking about going back to Poland in a few years. We're saving money. Eric is thinking about teaching English. So, yeah, we'll make it eventually. We're not getting any younger. And yeah, I would like to be closer to my family now that I have a young niece as well, a small one. So, you know, it would be just nicer to be able to just kind of visit her without planning ahead for months and stuff, without costing it for future, like, massive amount of money. So, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go back and move to Poland and live there, but when is that going to happen? I don't know. But I already know for 3 years that a lot of people from Poland that they moved to either UK or Ireland, they did move back to Poland as well. So,
EU settlement scheme. EU member nations could apply to live in the United Kingdom following the end of the transitional period, which would cease free movement. During this time, they were granted a special immigration status known as settled or non-settled. The procedure was relatively straightforward. Those who'd lived in the UK prior to the completion of the transitional period were granted settled status with the indefinite leave to remain. Those who were nearing their 5-year term but not quite there yet were allowed to leave to remain, provided the 5 years were completed. In any case, applications for the settlement scheme had to be processed before December 2020. At the end of the transitional period, the UK revealed that most applicants were from Romania or Poland. 1,415,310 and 1,181,550 applicants, respectively. Despite the numbers clearly indicating that Polish people, particularly workers, preferred moving to the UK to seek better economic opportunities, we've come to a standstill in recent times. At the time of Brexit, there was widespread panic over what would happen to Polish nationals who'd moved to the UK or those who were in the process. It seemed limiting for some families who wished to move but never got the opportunity to. An important aspect to remember here is that besides economic opportunities, the UK offered something else: community, a Polish community, but one nonetheless. As of 2021, 900,000 Polish Britons lived in the UK with their own communities, educational systems and labour markets. In fact, Polish integration into the UK's educational system has been rapid, with several GCSE exams being conducted in Polish. A move, by the way, which has been contested in Parliament, deeming it cost ineffective in recent years. We've now covered the concerns surrounding Polish migration and why they wanted to move to the United Kingdom, both arguments with otherwise plausible points. Now, the real question: why do they want to move back? Anti-Polish sentiments or Polonophobia? Should I return to Poland? A question often asked in online forums, a question that's become increasingly common in recent times. By recent times, we mean since 2020, when Brexit officially took place. To recap, A major slogan during Brexit was to reclaim Britain, and to do so, a pledge was made to create British jobs for British people. Working on the Polish plumber narrative, many people who'd emigrated from Poland sought odd jobs in the UK, particularly in sectors that required menial labour but were underfunded. To name one, the hospitality industry, a UK job sector that was heavily reliant on Polish migrants filling in. With Brexit, many Polish nationals went back to Poland as most of these jobs were seasonal. So did the Leave voters get what they asked for? Were there more jobs available to them? Well, yes, the hospitality sector needed people to fill in the roles that were left vacant. But even today, most of those roles have remained vacant. Why? Simply put, the sector is underfunded and cannot provide competitive salaries as other sectors, even comparable ones such as retail. With migrant workers, the hospitality sector could do away with paying them 20% less than the country's average wages for nationals. Despite the evidence being right there in front of us, there are some people in Britain who believe that Polish people should not be allowed back into the country, even if there is a market that's heavily reliant on them. While these people do not make up a majority of the population of the country, the fact remains that anti-Polish sentiments in the United Kingdom do exist and have gained traction in recent times. Economic, social, and political, take your pick, these are just some of the influences that have brought up a wave of Polnophobia in Britain. Before Brexit, Polish immigrants made up a seismic majority of EU nationals in the UK, which inadvertently came with a level of discrimination. The most common rhetoric was that Polish immigrants were there to take their jobs. The 2016 referendum campaign featured heated debates over immigration, with some politicians and media outlets depicting EU migrants, including Poles, as a strain on public services and a source of social problems. As a result, Polish residents reported feeling less welcome and more susceptible to discrimination. Although the UK government has condemned xenophobia and taken measures to protect the rights of EU citizens living in Britain, the social climate has not entirely improved. This rhetoric led to a significant rise in incidents of hate speech and physical attacks. The murder of Polish factory worker Arkadiusz Jauswyk in Harlow in 2016, shortly after the Brexit vote, starkly exemplified the violent consequences of this growing intolerance. Too little too late, Polish people are moving back. What motivated Polish people to go back? There are several reasons, but in a word, Brexit.
Well, I don't know. It seems like they kind of repeat themselves quite a lot. And this, I'm not entirely sure. Was like, oh, so keep talking about pretty much they're repeating themselves. And yeah, the fact is that Brexit is probably didn't make life easier for anyone in Poland, but in Britain. Actually, it doesn't matter if the Polish, the British, or the Pakistani, or Indian, or American, or Irish, or anything. I mean, especially didn't. Oh, okay. I'm kind of saying the people from outside the European Union probably nothing changed to them except the fact that we're harder to get some of the stuff. Like they were saying that a lot of, let's say, imports and stuff like that was kind of stopped because of all of the Brexit and things like that. So there was like some shortages in some stuff, and basically they weren't able to buy everything that they wanted. But yeah, it's just basically, I think people often, that wave of immigration from Poland in the beginning of, in 2004 and that late 2000, it was basically mostly for people that they wanted to go out there, earn some money, save some money and go back. So I think they just now with the Brexit and stuff like that, they probably just feel like I have enough, I can go back. Especially that pounds was always stronger than Polish zloty, so you would get more of that for more Polish zloty than for £1 The other thing is as well, he mentioned that a lot of the work that was there, that they were saying, oh, they're taking our work and stuff like that, it was seasonal. And yeah, so basically when it's seasonal, you can't really just move there somewhere and go, take the job. Now you have to apply for the visas and stuff like that, so people are not going to do it. If they were doing some seasonal jobs and stuff like that, they can go to other countries as well. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm making any sense.
withdrawal from the coalition was monumental in more ways than one. For people of different backgrounds in Great Britain, some of the Britain for British People slogan alluded to a rise in violence soon to come. Motivated by fear, economic disparities, and overall a sense of longing, many Polish people moved back home. Again, there were more reasons than one. Poland's economy has experienced substantial growth over the past decade, becoming one of the fastest growing in the EU. This boom has created job opportunities with higher wages, making Poland an attractive option for those considering a return after having initially left for better prospects. Construction, IT, and manufacturing sectors have expanded significantly, offering well-paying positions that can rival or even surpass those in the UK. In addition to economic opportunities, Poland has seen significant improvements in its quality of life, including better infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Modernization efforts have enhanced urban living conditions, making cities more attractive places to live. Education has also improved, with many universities and schools offering high standards of learning. The uncertainties and challenges posed by Brexit have also played a crucial role in prompting Polish migrants to consider returning home. The bureaucratic hurdles and potential instability have created an environment of uncertainty. Additionally, the social climate post-Brexit has sometimes been perceived as less welcoming, with reports of increased xenophobia and discrimination against immigrants. Lastly, there is a strong desire to reconnect with their culture. Poland's rich cultural heritage, vibrant social scene, and familial ties provide a sense of belonging and comfort that can be difficult to replicate in a foreign country. According to the British Embassy in Warsaw, about 2,500 Britons live and work in Poland, though the actual number is likely higher due to unregistered incomers. Anecdotal evidence points to a significant increase in Brits moving to Poland recently. This reverse migration is minor compared to the estimated 2 million Poles who left since 2004, but it's notable nonetheless. Despite Poland's unappealing communist-era urban planning, its rural areas and landscapes are attractive. Many Brits move to Poland for financial opportunities, as starting a business or earning in sterling can be lucrative under the enterprise-friendly government led by Donald Tusk. The first wave of Brits arrived post-communism to help establish capitalist practices. Poles generally welcome Brits as long as they avoid rowdy behavior and rarely express concerns about job competition, partly due to low unemployment rates influenced by many Poles working elsewhere in the EU. According to an article by The Guardian, several British nationals who'd moved to Poland were asked why they considered the shift. In their opinion, it was because Poland offered a sense of serenity that the UK lacked. Over the years, the UK has seen massive interest rates and near-recession conditions, all of which have taken a toll on the average taxpayer who's now had to dip into their savings. The UK has also become increasingly saturated in almost every job market, with vacancies only available in sectors that do not pay comparable salaries. People in the UK, those who were born there, have reported feeling lost in their own country. With rising bills, fuel poverty led on by the Russia-Ukrainian war, and homelessness at an all-time high, why wouldn't they want to move elsewhere? Is this what Polish Britons had anticipated?
I wonder. It is an interesting question, but like, obviously, Poland is welcoming to people, like, especially, like, every country is welcoming to people that they can bring something for the country as well. Like, if you have an education and stuff like that, there's no problem of getting a job in any country. Like, even if you want to go to America or something like that, they're not going to stop you if you have some kind of education that's a niche and it's in, it's sought for in America and they can't find someone there. Like, the same thing happens everywhere, I think. Like, the people with no education, myself included, that's a different story, obviously. But I am a citizen of Poland, so obviously I can move there freely, and my husband, Eric, can move there too with me. So we're definitely thinking about it, but we have to, well, save some money for it and plan it ahead. So yeah. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I see you tomorrow. Bye!